day. This is Tom Erler with Seceon. I'd like to give you an overview of the highlights of the Seceon AI SIEM platform today. What you're seeing here is a list of all the different product functionality that we've put into a single platform. Instead of having all these in different platforms that you're trying to consolidate and trying to correlate data across, here you can have it all in a single platform where all that correlation, that common context with situational awareness is all done for you in a single platform, single user interface, single license. Okay, we're doing that across all the different layers of the stack, the L2 through L7. As you can see here, we have machine learning and artificial intelligence built in. That machine learning is building a behavioral model for each host. And it's then using an AI engine, an AI agent, if you will, that we've built to look at that data as a SOC analyst would, and then compare it against built-in dynamic threat models and say, okay, does this look like this host could be under attack? So all this functionality, we're going to take a quick look at in our platform. All this is in a single platform, all working together to try to detect things early and generate alerts for you. Just quickly, I want to go through the fact that we're trying to ingest every piece of data we can get from you. So you can see here across the top, your DNS, your firewall logs, your router logs, your switch logs, anything from the cloud and on-prem, any identity information. If you have an EDR already, we'll incorporate that. If not, we have our own. So message here is we want to see all that information. Now, most of that historically would be from logs with other vendors. We collect all those logs, but we also collect something called netflows. And this is really important because these are actually a summary of every transaction going on in your environment between any two IP addresses. So it gives us real-time visibility into who's talking to who, from where, how much data they're copying. So those net flows really let us detect things early and get alerts captured for you long before they actually lead to exfiltration or encryption. I'd recommend you take the word net flows, look it up in your favorite AI engine, and say, how important are net flows to a SIEM? And it'll give you a much clearer picture. Okay, let's jump into the actual platform. So here we're starting at the high level. We have a master MSSP level where if you're a customer that has many MSPs under you, you can actually have one screen where you can see each of them at the highest level and then zoom down into them. So you would click on this box and that would take you into that particular MSP. And now you're going to see all of its tenants. Quick visual snapshot. Green means everything's good. Here, this is the only active one. This is a demo system. Here you're going to see 57 minor alerts, 19 major alerts, 15 critical alerts. And I want to highlight these minors. The platform, as I said, is doing all this detection and correlation, and it attaches a confidence score to each one of those minor alerts. And anything below 50%, the platform is just doing its work watching for you. You don't have to worry about that failed login, that PowerShell script running, that new scan. The platform has detected it and it's watching it. And only when it's seen enough does it actually raise it up to major and tell you to do something. Okay, so again, very quick, high-level snapshot of all your customers. Visually you can see where they stand and if they have any alerts, and then jump into them from there. So when you jump into a particular tenant, here down the left-hand side, you see all the different functionality available. We'll go through a handful of these, but all the different analytics, dashboards, UBA, behavior analytics, alert analysis. We're going to show you a SOAR. We're going to show you some reporting. So here's just one of our dashboards, an executive dashboards. It gives you a nice high-level picture of data flowing in your environment, your EPS. But these three dials really highlight some of the value proposition to me. All the events captured over 7 days. You see up here, you can set that time window to whatever you want, but all the events captured, 1.7 billion pieces of information. Those net flows, again, are a big part of that. Out of all those, we saw 23 million things that the platform thought were worth watching. A failed login, a script execution, a scan, a blacklisted site access. All those were tagged as threat indicators, put into minor alerts, and watched. And when we've seen enough, then we actually raise an alert and tell you to do something. So think about the ability to actually monitor 23 million things. Can't do it without a platform like this. You don't have enough humans to be able to do that. So it's vital for you in terms of delivering cost-effective service it's vital to have something like this that's helping you keep track of all this and giving you only alerts that need the action to be taken on. Let's go ahead and take a look at an alert now. So let's just pick a particular type here. I want to malware infected host. So we're just going to look at that quickly. We're going to open one. Give me a second here. Okay, here we go. So we're opening this alert. Across the top, you see a high-level description. We've got the time, the type, criticality, which is based on the confidence score I mentioned. I'll show you in a minute. This is really important. All the different engines in the platform that we used. We have something that's monitoring all of the logs. This is the machine learning that's building those behavioral models. This is your networking information, your flows. This is your EDR. So all these engines were used in detecting this alert. Down here, you're seeing you've got 13 different types of threat indicators that were detected. So you can see evasion, new process, DNS anomaly, and so forth. All these were detected by the platform, correlated together to this host, and tracked. Okay. Now these actually map up here into the MITRE attack techniques. That's what these boxes are. These are the high-level MITRE techniques, and we've mapped each of these threat indicators into that. We can go in here and look at execution, for instance. Let's give it a second. Sorry. Okay, there you go. So you see some script executions. So all those techniques that I was showing you down below, all those threat indicators are mapped up here if you want to track things via the MITRE attack technique. Each one of these is viewable. I can click on my evasions. It'll all be listed. I can click on each one, get all the details, right? So everything that we've collected is available for you, your analyst, to take a look at. Down at the bottom here, we actually have a sort of a graphical representation that shows you, again, to me, the value of the platform. Here in December, we saw some activity. You can see some exploits, evasions. But if I zoom in here, you're going to see that the confidence score, that red line, is at 35%. Minor alert, nothing you have to worry about right now. And some days we didn't see anything. These days we saw stuff. These days we didn't see anything. In through January, same thing. Lots of activity detected, but still at 35% confidence. Here in February, actually now the platform has said, okay, keep seeing, keep tracking. And right here, I went to 55%. I raised the alert. I've seen enough. You need to take some action. And you can actually zoom in right into the last minutes of that particular attack and see which threat indicators would push you over the edge. Here you see script execution. So very powerful. Everything's at your fingertips. You can also click on what we call this SARA AI. That'll take all that information and turn it into a human readable format. Okay. So if you don't want to look at it the way I just showed you, you can come here and it'll actually give you all the details, all the different threat indicators. Interestingly here, it'll show you, where is it? The different type of the attacker groups that might be behind this based on their techniques. You can see it could be a cozy bear, fancy bear. So, I mean, those are known in the industry. And at the bottom here, you're going to actually see the mitigation recommendation. So, very useful for an analyst to be able to come in here quickly and get the information they need. We have SOAR. This is a playbook capability that you can actually say what I want to do when I get a certain type of alert. I'll just redo this for you. So this is drag and drop. I can say, okay, maybe I want to assign this to a particular analyst. Come in here, drag and drop that, assign it, done. Maybe I want to actually take action here. Maybe I want to say, okay, this was a compromised credentials. I want to go shut down that account. So I can go into my AD. Sorry. Boom, decide what action I want to take. Maybe I want to choose whatever target, whatever. So you come in here, you configure it, and now this playbook will define what happens every time you get that type of alert, and you can set one of these up for every different type of alert in your system. So very powerful. We have lots of reports. I'm just showing you one here. This is a HIPAA report. We have PCI, NIST, CMMC, ISO. So, and we can create new ones. You can actually create them automatically in the system, and we can help create them. But here's just a sort of high-level view of a PCI, I'm sorry, a HIPAA report. You can see the different categories are on the left. The data that we've detected for it live from the system is populated. So you can see, some nice graphical representations. So very, very rich, feature-rich reporting. One last report I want to show you is our AI Security Score 360. This is based on a domain scan. So we actually do an external domain scan, and we'll run these tests that you see here: dark web scan, malicious assets, internal posture, and that, along with an internal vulnerability scan, will create a FICA, sort of a FICA-ish score for you, a security score, and basically give you a nice sense for how you're doing in your security posture. And all those different tests that were run, the details are all down here below. Okay, so let me just summarize here. So one thing I didn't highlight was we also have our own EDR, if you want it. We call it PMAX. Lots of functionality here, and we'll continue to add. We've recently added the PII and PHI discovery information, your personal health information, personal information, and so forth. So what I showed you was, in the beginning, all this functionality. So again, we have built-in Yuba. We collect threat intelligence and give you access to it. We can do VA scans. We have that security posture score, risk score. We do IDS and IPS. We do NDR. Obviously, we collect all those flows, as I showed you. SOAR, right? So we can build those playbooks, EPP. So all this functionality is available for you in a single platform, and hopefully provides you the ability to provide a very cost-effective service, because it's doing a lot of the work. It's got eyes on glass, and you may have to apply people once we've raised an alert. Hopefully that was helpful, and thank you very much for your time.